What's up, Guardians? Welcome to DNA Weekly Strike, DNA's weekly Destiny podcast. I'm your host, Corey Derrick, and alongside me, as always, is my co-host, Brian Anderson. It's good to be here with you, Brian.
Same here, man.
We got a few things to clear up real quick before we actually start the show. If you're listening to the MP3 on Thursday, you're probably wondering why it's coming out on Thursday instead of Sunday. It's because we are launching the MP3 side by side with the YouTube video. You know, sometimes things happen after we do the video, you know, like the trials thing, the trials thing last week. And so our podcast is instantly out of date, like 4 days after we do the show. So coming out day to date on Thursday. So it will be directly on this feed. We are moving the DNA podcast proper, the other podcast that's on this feed, to a different feed. So this is going to be the only podcast on the feed from now on. That way, you know, we separate the two, and you know, people want one and not the other, that sort of thing. So if you are still interested in the DNA podcast, just search for the DNA podcast on iTunes or whatever podcast service you're listening to, that kind of stuff. We also have new ways to contact us for questions, feedback, all that kinds of stuff. We have a new email address, dnaweeklystrike@gmail.com. And you can follow the show on Twitter now at dnaweeklystrike, all one word. So without further ado, we'll get into the show. You know, we always start out with our week in Destiny. So, Brian, how was your week? No trials again.
No trials again, and then we'll talk. You know, again this weekend we won't have it, but you know, so I played a lot of Banner. It was all right. You know, I got all the weapons and armor and stuff, and
that pulse rifle's awesome.
It's decent on certain maps. It's not as good as I was hoping it would be. Sidearm is. I'm not a sidearm guy, and that thing's kind of garbage, but it looks really cool. So that was kind of, you know. But then we raided again, you know, a couple times, and just keep trying to get you guys up to 310. That's pretty much all you can do. Picked up a couple. You know, I picked up the first curse finally. I got that gun. I started the quest for No Time to Explain. And by that, I mean I picked up the ghost yesterday because I never did that the first time around.
Yeah.
I couldn't get on that day. But so just normal stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I did run the Nightfall yesterday. And I am happy to say that the rewards are a lot better. I got a 308 Legendary Pulse Rifle.
That's awesome. I didn't play a whole lot yesterday, but what I did do last week, I did play Banner. I did get up to level 3. I didn't play much this weekend. It was a busy weekend for me, but you know,
you didn't miss out on them too much, actually.
Yeah. So, but I did help a lot of people through raids this week. I ran the raid 4 times.
That's what I'm saying. You ran it a lot.
Yeah. So,
getting really good at it. Sounds like you're ready for this weekend.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But I mean, I am ready for this weekend. I'm excited for hard mode, which is what we're going to talk about later in the show. But I started the exotic sword quest. I started the last word chaperone quest. I started a few other ones, but like because I've been neglecting the quest line, so I could like get better gear and get higher levels and store weapons for infusion, stuff like that. So I've had that South Park moment where, like, you know, the Warcraft episode of South Park where they do all this stupid stuff so they could beat that guy, and they're like, what do we do now? And finally play the game. So that's kind of like where I'm at.
That's kind of how it is. You do all these quests, and it's like, okay, what do we do now? Because I've completed most quest lines with my hunter, at least.
Yeah. So like,
you got to get an exotic sword.
Yeah. I mean, that's where
I don't know which one you're going for.
I have the solar one.
Ooh, that's disappointing.
But can't you choose which one?
No, you can't.
Yeah, it has to be the same one that you picked up.
You're getting the solar one, unfortunately.
Well, I do have the arc one with my warlock, so
the boltcaster is awesome.
Yeah, so I will eventually have 2 exotic swords, hopefully, if I start playing with my warlock again. But
I'm just trying to, you know, collect all the exotics. You know, they sold Hereafter. Not a great sniper. I was
kind of disappointed with it. Like I almost texted you the morning I bought it. I was like, well, I don't know. Some people are comparing it to Patience in Time, and I really liked it. I really like Patience in Time from year 1, and then like I'm like, this is not really.
The difference between this and Patience in Time is I loved the scope on Patience in Time, especially because you could put optic glass, I think, on it to like make it a better zoom and stuff.
Yeah.
or a more clear zoom, not better. I don't like scopes that zoom in too far. And that's what this is. The scope kills it for me. Because I'm huge with my snipers. I want low zoom scopes.
Yeah.
For Crucible, and it doesn't really have that. And then like the perk on it is if you crouch, it zooms in more.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what I want. You know what I mean? Like no.
Yeah.
So I want to be zoomed out as far as possible so you can see more in an area. You don't get it with that gun. The blinding light is not as cool as it seems. It doesn't always go off. When it does, it's got a delay to it. I mean, I think like the entire, because I did use it in Banner a little bit. I think I like blinded like two other guys the entire time I used it, and I got quite a few headshots with it.
Yeah, I'm not really impressed with it. I'm still loving the 1,000-yard stare over that one, which most people have found to be
1,000-yard stare was a huge. I like the Arene RR4.
Yeah,
which was a Arms Day gift.
Yeah.
So that one I like. It actually has more impact than 1,000-yard, but it doesn't reload as quickly. So, but I was killed by 1,000-yard a lot, so it clearly is a pretty good gun.
Yeah. But other than that, I ran the raid a few times. Shout out to Harrison and his group, Pork Chop, and Joey, part of DNA. We all kind of ran the raid together the other night, and then we ran it Monday night
with our crew.
Yeah. So
I did finally get the sniper. I was excited about that 308. So I mean, I could go in to the hard raid with like all 310 weapons in each slot. So
yeah,
I'm getting excited. Still need to work on my armor a little bit.
Yeah, see, I have the opposite issue. All my armor, except for my helmets, are like over 306 and over, except for my helmet. But my weapons are still like I have a 307 1,000-yard stare, and my Thunderlord's at 300. But like I haven't gotten any primaries that to drop over 300.
I've had good luck with the primaries. Yeah, I mean it's weird that my hunter is my main, and I play with him the most, but my Titan, who I've only raided with, I think 2 times, I have 310 chest, 310 legs, 309 arms.
Yeah.
Like from 2 raids. But then my hunter, who I've run the raid with almost every week since spin out, I can't get the armor drops, and that's just RNG right there. But
yeah, that
looks like I might be going with my Titan this weekend instead of my hunter.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. I ran the raid twice with my Warlock, and my Warlock has 307 arms and 308 boots. Like
it's weird, yeah. I mean, it's kind of how it is, but
it's weird.
It's
but
like, you want to play with this character? Nope, you can play with this one.
Yeah. Anyways, moving into our topics, one thing I want to talk about real quick is I've noticed Destiny has a lot of like glitches and stuff. Like and it started like I noticed it in year 1, but it wasn't as bad. And then we that first and second week we ran the raid. How many times did we restart Oryx?
Yeah, but like
Orbit.
I don't know if you remember how many times during Atheon you weren't raiding at that time. There were Atheon would glitch you guys out, and he still does. Like I know a lot of people don't run Volley Last, but I don't know how many times we've been playing and like. He teleports only 2 guys. You know what I mean? Like he glitched out way harder.
Or like somebody dies when he teleports you in. Like
or he'll teleport you in like while you were in a bubble.
Yeah.
Like there was all like Atheon was the worst, glitchiest raid I ever ran. That was the worst. Crota was not terrible, but like I said, there's only like 4 sections to it. So the odds of it glitching in 4 sections versus I don't know, I counted them
like
on the way over, but like 7 sections, I don't think it's that bad, to be honest with you. It has its moments. I know during the Oryx fight, like sometimes like he'll start teleporting you in like before you even do like half damage and stuff. Like that's happened to us a few times, but
yeah,
it's not too bad.
But like those aren't even the bad ones I'm talking about. I'm talking ones that will like okay, yeah, the war set glitch for the one Nightfall where you sit under the war set, but I'm talking about like the hunter glitch that's been going on and they had to cancel Trials of Osiris because of this glitch.
Well, and it was the right call to cancel it because an unlimited shadow shot would ruin. I mean, that would just be terrible if you were 8-0 and then you ran across 3 guys who ran that. It's unfortunate that people would, like. I understand that you find these glitches and it's cool to do them at first. But, honestly, I didn't run into too many of them in Trials.
Yeah.
But you could always tell who was using it because if you had to run that specific helmet.
You mean in Banner?
Yeah, Banner, sorry. The Graviton Forfeit.
Yeah.
You had to run that specific helmet with Shadow Shot. So if you saw a hunter wearing that helmet, That's the only time. Like, no one wears that in Crucible. Like, you don't wear that helmet. It grants you Shadow Step, which, if you look at the on the skill tree, there's not really a lot of great perks on that line anyway. So if you really want Shadow Shot, you just give yourself that.
Yeah.
So if you saw, and I honestly didn't see it that much. I saw a lot more Titans throwing hammers. A lot of that.
Still haven't fixed that.
No, and I mean, it is what it is, and I don't know if you remember when Trials came around the first time, I think it was the third or fourth week, there was another Hunter glitch back in the day, and this is what I'm saying, there's always been glitches, there's always going to be exploits, let's just call them, that people are going to find. There was one where there's a perk on armor called Ashes to Asset, where if you hit people with grenade damage, it gives you extra super. The Hunter has the grenade, the swarm grenade.
Mm-hmm.
So what you would do is you would try to get 2 pieces of armor that have that. So like I went out and actually bought a helmet because there was a Vanguard guy who sold one who had it, and then I had an exotic piece, the spine of Amakar spine or whatever. Mm-hmm. And what you would do is you would throw that swarm grenade. I would have 2 pieces of armor, so it's stacked.
Right. That
swarm grenade breaks into 8 pieces, and every hit counted as 1 grenade hit. So that's 8 grenade hits times 2. So 1 grenade would give you a full super.
Yeah.
That was out for in Trials for like a week. People were doing that and using it. So you would have a super in the first round.
Right.
Like you would just throw that grenade. If you hit all 8, you had a super.
Right.
So, and that's, and they patched it and you can't do it now. So.
Right. Yeah. I know there's always going to be glitches. I guess
tricky hunters always find a way to cheat.
I guess it's like I'm playing a lot more, so I guess I'm noticing a lot more.
And that's exactly what it is.
The last 6 months, I've been playing a lot more, like, more than I ever have. And like I guess I'm just noticing a lot more now because year one, like I didn't play nearly enough to like, notice these things. I didn't run Atheon very much. I didn't run Crota very much until like, later, way later. But like, I don't know. It was something I wanted to mention. Because it's kind of like
they're always going to be there. You had the Titan who could throw like unlimited hammers because you held down all these buttons. Like when you put out that class, how do you know people are going to like? Well, if you hold it down and flip the controller upside, you know what I mean? Like people are going to find exploits. That's games. Everyone who watches this show plays games and has either found an exploit or a cheat or a glitch. Doesn't matter what game it is.
Yeah.
They're always going to be out there anytime you're, dealing with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was listening to Giant Bomb on the way to your house today, and like there's a glitch in Super Mario Maker. Like, you're right. I know.
They're always going to be there, and I feel like Bungie's taking care of them. Like, they're not out that long. The Titan throw, like the hammer, that was gone. The shadow shot, gone.
Right.
It's not like they're just leaving them in the game like, oh, tough, deal with it. No, they're trying to keep it balanced and fair. So
right,
doing the best they can, I think.
Yeah. Speaking of things like that, we're gonna move into a bit of. There's some interesting news that came out this week, but King's Fall hard mode.
Oh, are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm
recommended light 310.
Yeah,
Now, when you look at
I'm not going to be 310.
When you look at the normal raid, it was recommended light 290.
Yeah.
But really, the only fight you needed to be 290 for was Oryx.
Right.
And even then, like, if you had at least a couple guys. So, and from what I understand, the drops are going to be very good. Right. 310 to 320.
Yeah, like.
So, if you're at, like, 307, 308, 306, you can probably go in there and do those first parts and hope for something that's going to put you up higher.
Yeah.
So that you can take on Oryx.
Hopefully, when we raid tonight, and then the Nightfall tonight will grant me some better gear.
And this is a shout out to Todd, who I know has posted many times about his weak little ghost.
Yeah.
They've added ghosts into the Nightfall rewards, and I think it was something else too, and I don't know if it was Vanguard or Crucible, but ghosts can drop in
Crucible. It was Crucible because
ghosts can drop in more than one set. Like before, like you got it in the raid or you were screwed. Now like the Nightfall, other stuff will drop them, and they're in the 300s.
Yeah. We need to get him that ghost shell though from the raid because that seems to be the best one.
Well, not necessarily. Like someone, I think Sean Church posted a picture of someone getting a 306 ghost from the Nightfall, and that's better than mine. I have 305 ghost shell. So,
but anyways, they always change something in these raids, whether it's like little,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's big, whether it's like, they change a mechanic or two.
Well,
And we were talking about this on the way over here. How can they change this raid?
well, if you've noticed in the other two, really all the way up to the boss fight, nothing changes.
Right.
And then at the boss fight, things change.
Right.
At Atheon, it was just something as small as right before he teleports you, he puts you in those bubbles on the 3 guys who got left behind.
Yeah.
I think that was the only thing that really changed in the Atheon fight. In the Crota fight, you couldn't regen health.
Right.
At all. Even there was no lantern. I can't remember what it's called. The thing that lets you regen health in the normal mode.
Yeah.
They didn't have that. So
the chalice.
The chalice. Thank you. So there was no chalice.
Yeah.
That was the change. So what are they going to take away or give us? Now I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but I've noticed that every single raid gun has cocoon on it. Cocoon is when you store it for a few seconds, it automatically reloads your clip. It might have, maybe you can't reload against Oryx.
Yeah.
Which, if you're using Touch of Malice in a raid secondary or something, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because you're not reloading Touch of Malice. Well, that would suck, actually, if you were stuck at 1 for the entire raid. I don't know. Maybe that would be terrible. You kill yourself very quickly. Maybe that aura won't be there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because if there's no aura, you can't use that Touch of Malice. Gosh, you know what I mean?
No
they're either going to take something away or they're going to and you suggested maybe, it could be something completely different that we don't know about. They might not add the bubbles from Atheon where they might do that before you can go get the blights. I don't know. It's definitely going to be something during the Oryx fight. They typically don't change anything else. It's just harder enemies.
Yeah.
Maybe some more yellow enemies. Mm-hmm. That's typically what they've done.
Talking to you about that first part right before the War Priest where you're doing the relay stuff, running back and forth. Maybe they'll have I don't know, yellow witches above, except for instead of a boomer
and when you go to switch, how a knight comes out.
Yeah, that's what I'm
talking. Maybe
about.
He'll be yellow.
Yeah,
or maybe it'll be a wizard. You're right. So I think it's just gonna be harder enemies through there, stuff like that. From my understanding, the way that they did this raid is that they made the hard raid first for the first time. They made the hard raid and then they made the normal, which before they did the normal, then the hard. So
yeah.
Who knows what they have in store for us?
Yeah, from a development standpoint, that's probably better that they got that the hard mode out of the way and then dumbed it down for the normal one. Just because
that's why I feel like this, or that's why I think,
especially in Crota, if they develop that to give the chalice, okay, hard mode, there's no chalice. Okay, we just took away the chalice out of the game.
Yeah, that actually did make that fight really hard though. The Crota hard mode. Before you could be overly powerful and super and stuff like that, that fight was tough. The rest of the raid was easy, but that fight was tough.
Yeah.
Then you have the whole thing where you can't die.
Yeah.
Because you can't be revived.
Yeah.
So the Oryx fight on hard is going to be extremely difficult. Because how many times have you seen someone die trying to get back from popping a blight?
Yeah.
I really do think the Oryx fight is going to be really hard.
Yeah.
On hard, and it should be.
Yeah, I was talking to someone. I forget who I was talking to.
And hopefully they give out some elemental primaries. Jeez.
Someone was like, what if they just throw in Atheon and Crota and Skolas in the Oryx fight? What if they just have them running around the map?
That would be completely insane, but funny. It would be kind of cool if there was a shout out to Crota somehow.
Yeah, a ghost of Crota or a taken Crota or something.
I don't know. It would be kind of cool if there was a shout out somewhere to Crota in that fight. I don't know how you would add it in.
Yeah.
Or, there's already enough. There is a lot going on during the Oryx fight.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff
going on. So much going on during that fight. Even if it's right after the witches, if they just added the ghost of Crota,
maybe when he teleports you into the middle, there'll be Crota chilling there, what's up, bitches?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Not likely, but would be cool.
No, but that would be cool.
Well, and they already gave their shout out to Oryx or Crota in the tier 3 court.
Yeah,
there was a mini. Yeah, there was a mini Crota fight.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that was cool. But
I'm very excited. I'm hoping that they give out some better. The primaries are okay, but they need to have elemental damage. They really do, and that's what.
Yeah, I
have one gun that has that. I have the supercell.
Yeah,
that's it. Unless I don't think the Touch of Malice has anything. You would think, but I don't think it does.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to grind some weapons. I need to find some weapons to go into that hard mode because like all my primaries are under 300 right now.
Yeah, I'm going 310
I have
Doom of Chalchis, I think is what it's called.
I have two 299 primaries.
I'm going to go 310 Raid Sniper and then Exotic Sword, I think is what I'm going to go with.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Defiance of Yasmin, that's the sniper.
Yeah. I'm super excited for the hard mode raid this weekend. And like I know probably I don't know. I work Friday night, but probably like Sunday night we'll run it. I'm sure.
I work
Sunday or Monday night, I'm sure.
Yeah, unfortunately I have a Halloween party this weekend, so
yeah.
Saturday I probably won't be able to run it, but I'm definitely going to go after, Friday night. I'm going all in. Going to try to take them out.
Yeah. We're going to talk a little bit about IGN posted an article about Destiny 2. And it was a little bit interesting to me because I don't know if this story was supposed to be leaked or something, but like the story reads, Destiny sequel reportedly being helped by High Moon Studios in a report by High Moon themselves on their website. The numbered sequel to Destiny will be helped along by Activision's High Moon Studios, according to a report from Kotaku. On High Moon Studios' own website, it mentions that they will be working alongside Bungie as help support to the Destiny universe, and in late May, a job listing appeared, pointing to High Moon Studios working with Bungie on Destiny. However, until the Kotaku report, there was no evidence that there was even a sequel being developed. According to the report, a Destiny expansion codenamed Comet was first started in 2013, and that's kind of...
No, I've heard codenamed Comet before.
Yeah,
I thought people thought that was this Taken King expansion. They thought that was Comet.
Yeah.
We all knew a sequel was coming, so I don't know, and I don't think there's a problem with another studio helping.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, that's something Activision does anyway with all their big games, like Call of Duty. They have Raven and High Moon and stuff helping with maps and stuff. But High Moon's a great studio. Transformers, Cybertron games were really awesome, and
it's a good studio to pick up. I hope that this doesn't become like a Call of Duty type game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're assisting just in multiplayer maps because that's what they did with Call of Duty.
Hopefully, because Call of Duty's multiplayer maps are okay.
Yeah,
I think they've been doing it. I think the maps on Destiny have been fantastic so far.
I do too. But again, that's all been like Bungie internally until this report. Like, I honestly knew like a sequel would be coming, but this is really interesting. I hope maybe High Moon's like asset development because their assets are very high quality. Like, again, look at Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron.
I haven't played those, but I've seen you play them. They look pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, they make great games. They do fantastic work helping on games. So I don't know. I just wanted to mention it. What your thoughts on a Destiny 2 could be like, and if you think this is a good move for them or not.
Oh, I think it's a great move. Not really sure where they're gonna go with the story. Like, is it gonna be a full blown like sequel, or is it gonna be like maybe from a different perspective or something completely different?
Yeah,
I don't know what they're gonna do. We'll see. I mean,
Bungie already said like your Guardian's gonna carry over through all the sequels, so
that's what they say. That so it sounds like they're all connected.
Yeah,
but I don't know where they're gonna go with the story. I still think they need to do something with Cabal.
Yeah.
But I thought that would be an expansion.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that's going to work. It sounds like...
Yeah. We'll get to expansions later because that's a question. But
yeah.
I just thought that was interesting that they were already like talking a sequel.
Well, then there must not be another... they're probably going to do like sequel expansion.
Yeah. I just thought maybe they would have a little, smaller expansion like House of Wolves or Dark Below in between now and...
I don't know. But maybe they won't.
And then
maybe Cabal raid.
Kotaku reported that there was also a messy story behind the making of Destiny where they scrapped pretty much the whole game.
I saw that they scrapped
pretty much the whole game right before launch,
which would make sense why the story was so garbage.
Yeah, that's why they scrapped the story because they said the story was garbage. It revolved around like the Hive and like the story was really linear. I guess.
It still does like it's still revolving around the Hive. Like,
yeah, and like the last third of the game was supposed to take place on the Dreadnought, which turned
I
out to be
heard
the
that.
Taken King.
Yeah. I
expansion
mean,
anyway. So I don't know. It's
it
really
sounds like
interesting.
they scrapped it, but then they used the story anyways, just broken up.
Yeah.
Which is worse, if you ask me.
Yeah, they said it was too like generic and what they say campy is the word they use.
Campy?
Yeah. I'd rather have a campy story than no story at all.
Yeah, the story was awful.
But
it still is kind of bad.
That's just something I wanted to mention. The article's in our Facebook group, or you can just go to Kotaku, I guess. But anything else you want to talk about before we get into questions?
No, I mean, we touched on the hardware a little bit, which I'm sure we'll talk about a lot next week.
Yeah.
We talked about how the new exotic weapon that people are finding this week. So I think it's cool that they're kind of releasing them. Some people might not like it with these quests. You never know when they're going to come up, which is kind of cool, kind of not.
Kind of hidden too.
They are kind of hidden, but it's kind of like, oh man, you might not be able to play that day.
Yeah.
Which is what I don't like. You should still I don't know if these have to be the daily heroic. In my understanding, they do.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks. You should be able. Once it's discovered, okay.
Yeah. Like the Black Spindle quest, I think
you
should be able to go into that story mode.
And turn it on heroic.
Yeah.
You got to put it on heroic.
You got to adjust the modifier, but you can go do it whenever you want.
I agree, because you can't, not everyone can play this. And then it's like, well, shit, now I got to wait. And maybe you play every day. You're constant with your destiny. And then it's but that one day you got to go into work, or you got, something going on and you can't do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of not fair.
Yeah. Like the Black Spindle quest. We did it that first day it was out, and we failed that first day.
We failed miserably.
Yeah. But they did it. They've done it 2 times since then now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been at work, and, I work in a restaurant, so I'm there late. And when I get home, I don't feel like
you don't feel like going through that grind.
It's 11, 11:30, 12 o'clock.
And it's going to be long.
And I want to go to bed because I got to be up early the next morning and do it all over again. But yeah, I agree with you. I think after the quest has been discovered,
you should be able to do it.
You should be able to do it whenever you want, as long as you adjust the modifier on your.
This No Time to Explain. I really want that gun. I didn't do the ghost the first time around because, like I said, I couldn't. So, I did have time to do it real quick yesterday. But now you got to wait. Don't know when. I have to wait at least. The ones who had already gotten the ghost the first time around, I think they've got to play through it and they've gotten the gun.
Yeah.
It's an exotic stranger's rifle, basically, but really want it for trials.
Yeah.
Could be good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see the positives and negatives of both.
Yeah. I know Ray asked us a question about that, so hopefully that takes care of that question.
Yeah, I didn't really understand the question, but I kind of like those. Okay, here's this quest popping out of nowhere, but I don't like that it's only for the Black Spindles for that day, and then you got to wait again. And
yeah, I agree.
I don't like it. You should, like I said, you should be able to once it's been discovered, okay, the Black Spindle, and we made it the heroic. Here, you can get it. You should be able to go do it whenever you want.
Yeah, I agree. Anyways, we're going to move on into our questions now. Ray, hopefully that answered your question. We were kind of confused on what you meant by reboot of the exotic quest. So,
yeah, they're not remaking the quests, are they? I don't understand what the.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But anyways, Megan Green writes in, thanks for answering my question about the Hunter last week. It is now my favorite class.
Smart girl right there.
Heart emoticon. That said, if you could change one thing about your main class, what would it be and why?
The Hunter, my main, obviously. Yeah. I'm not crazy in love with a lot of their grenades.
Yeah.
I've fallen in love with the trip mine. It's a very strategic grenade that it's tough to use, but once you learn how to use it, especially in control and trials and stuff, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You get a lot of kills with it. Trials, kill a guy, put a trip mine right behind the orb, and if you have, because I use Amakara's Spine, which gives you longer trip mines, and now I get 2 of them, so I can't wait to use those.
Yeah.
You kill a guy, trip mine right behind the orb. If they're by a wall, someone comes to try to revive them. Boop. So stuff like that is cool, but I kind of wish that the Night Stalker had better grenades. I think their grenades are garbage. I don't like the best one they have is the fire on the ground or whatever, but They need like a sticky,
Mhm.
something to stick the person with.
Yeah.
And their melees aren't great, which
Yeah.
I know is probably going to be what you say.
Yeah,
for the
that's part of what I was going to say. There's actually two things I would change about the Titan, but
Melee.
that melee, man.
It's-
If you don't have
it
that,
is the worst.
if you don't have there's a couple things of gear that I have that gives you like a more powerful melee.
No, but
like,
no. Literally, look at
that
Corey.
that's
If I'm coming at you, this is it. Like I'm not. See,
yeah, like
and you won't
like
hit
the hunter
him.
has the knife and the warlock has like the orb that
No,
shoots out.
the warlock's melee. Holy crap! Especially on this storm trance one that gives you increased range.
Yeah,
You can like hit. It's like shooting a gun,
Yeah.
but with a melee. So they
Yeah.
clearly have the best.
and it recharges like fairly quickly.
Oh yeah, well they have things that you can add to
Yeah.
recharge it. So the warlock clearly has the best melee. I think the hunter has the second best, especially if you can get good with that throwing knife. I
Mhm.
actually really like it.
Mhm.
It's pretty good. That's another ranged melee.
Mhm.
Where's the Titans ranged? Oh, maybe it's the shoulder charge.
Yeah, but that's still not.
You gotta like power it up though. Like that's
yeah,
not
you
fair.
gotta sprint. You gotta be like sprinting.
I'm just
before you
saying
use it.
Titan. I know because that's my second class. I
Yeah.
would say melee, hands
Yeah,
down. Needs
the melee I would change. I do have a perk though. If you melee someone and kill them, I get a bonus shield, which is nice. But like,
That's nice in PVE, but I mean,
I don't really play much else. I mean, I have been playing a lot of Crucible lately, but
well, that's where I'm talking about.
That-
I'm talking about melee and that.
that's another place where I'm going now. Is like, I wish this Titan was smaller.
That's why you gotta make a female Titan.
I am a female Titan, and I have been finding gear to make myself
Well,
smaller.
those
like,
immolation fists or whatever, they're bulky. And
Yeah.
I've always like I have a male warlock and hunter, and then I have a female Titan
Mhm.
because I want the smallest
Yeah.
character.
yeah, because they're hard to hit. But like, that's my thing. Like, we were making fun of your brother because he was so top heavy in the raid. the
Oh
other
my god,
day.
he's huge. His
I know,
Titan is
your
like
Titan is
this
humongous.
bulky. Like it's like no wonder why you can't jump. You're like 400 pounds with all that gear on.
Yeah, so like, I picked a female Titan because they're smaller. It's the same reason why I'm a female Spartan in Halo, and like, I pick the female characters in Gears of War when I play and stuff. But like,
They're
they're
tiny.
smaller. But like, the gear you get, man, like that chest piece you said,
They're
or like some of
huge.
the helmets I get have
They're
like,
huge.
they're like,
and maybe that's why they did that. So like Titan, male or female, they're gonna be big.
Yeah, so like,
but
I found a
don't like
nice chest piece that makes my Titan smaller, and like you even commented a couple weeks ago and said my Titan looked anorexic, but like,
yeah,
you
your
know,
Titan
I
needs
just-
to eat something.
I wish
It's
my
tiny.
Titan was smaller. I wish the Titans were smaller.
Well, I mean, they are supposed to be like the tanks.
I mean,
so
I understand
they
that,
like
but that's a stat thing.
If
That
you want to
doesn't
go
have
by
be.
size, hunters should be the smallest, then warlocks, then titans. That's how it should be
Yeah,
because that's how they're designed. Hunters have that high agility, low armor, and recovery. Like you want them moving fast, quick.
hmm
Warlocks are kind of middle of the road. They're mostly recovery.
hmm
They can recover fast. Titans, armor. Titans should be the biggest. But grenade though, I wish the hunter had a better Night Stalker grenade. I don't like them for PvP.
So
The Blade Dance and Gunslinger though they have good grenades. Once you get used to them.
yeah, I mean that's all preference too, though. Your grenades, your play style, and your
Yeah, I like ones that I can stick either to
Mhm.
people or surfaces.
Like most of the Titan grenades are sticky. The Defender grenade is
Yeah,
sticky,
they have the magnet grenade with the Defender. I don't think the Storm
It does.
does
It's a sticky.
Yeah,
the
they have
first
3
one.
sticky. The Warlock has.
Mhm.
No, the Stormcaller doesn't, but they still have pretty good grenades.
Mhm.
The one where you can bring down the storm, that one's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Hunter grenades for sure.
Harrison, pork chop. Why are the calcified fragments in Court of Oryx tied to RNG?
Now, if by this, every Court of Oryx boss and combination of bosses will give up a fragment. So
Right.
it's not necessarily tied to RNG. The bosses that you get from putting your fragment down is RNG. Like for tier 2, like you need to get all the ones that like all the different combinations
Right.
of bosses. Like he says he needs, I think he said 39, fragment
Mhm.
39. That fragment is tied to a specific combination of bosses.
Right.
So the RNG effect is getting those bosses, and that's how it was for me when I had to get them to get my Touch of Malice.
Yeah.
I just had to just keep going and hoping I was going to get the right bosses.
hmm
So why is it? It's because that's how they got the 50 fragments that are in the game, even though 3 of them we don't know about yet.
Right.
Like that's how they were able to do it. Like, okay, all 3 tier 3 court guys, if you kill them, you get a fragment. All the combinations from tier 2, you just have to get the combination.
Right.
But I understand what he's saying. It is annoying.
It is.
I know, because he said, I think he put in a bunch, and it took me a bunch of stolen runes to get the final combination that I needed.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous, Harrison. I agree. But RNG, they love that shit.
Yeah. All right. Our next question comes from listen Dross LL. We're just gonna call him LL. Sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
The guy with all the pop dolls, is that him?
I think so. Did you see those?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was pretty sweet. I was pretty jealous.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna call you LL. Unless you message me and tell me exactly how to pronounce your name.
I want to know how many pop dolls you have, like total.
Yeah.
I have 4.
Yeah, I have 3 or 4.
But I lost Star Wars Legos, so what?
I saw a really cool Lego set that you might want the other day.
I'm still putting. I gotta put together a Slave 1 Boba Fett ship. I just got.
Yeah, it was the new black and yellow X-wing.
Oh yeah, so I have an old X-wing, Millennium Falcon. I'm finishing up on the Star Destroyer and stuff like that.
But what are your thoughts on Bungie's methods of hot fixing stuff? And how do you feel about them disabling the 3 arrows now temporarily?
Yeah, that's kind of how they had to fix it. They did that last the 3 quiver or whatever. They kind of had to change that up so that for the hot fix. I'm okay with it, with how they do their hot fixes and everything. Like we talked about, and like I said, we talked about this earlier. There's always gonna be glitches.
Yeah,
and I think they're it's upsetting that they had to cancel trials.
Yeah.
Again, they did it this weekend because the hard raid's coming out. Be dumb to do them both, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I think they've been pretty on top of most things. They've let us the way they've been doing it. We had that weekend to exploit 3 coins, and then they fixed it. They waited 2 weeks to fix the black spindle thing.
Oh, it was almost a month.
They're kind of okay, we see the problem, but here you go. You can try it one more time at least. And then
they definitely know, they have their priorities straight, which needs to be fixed right away, in which you can kind of okay, we'll get to this when we get to it.
Except for them hammers.
Well, they already fixed them once, but they still, and I don't know if they ever will, which is unfortunate, but they really need to do something about those things. They're ridiculous.
Yeah. Todd Oxtra, friend of show, asks, if more DLC or expansions don't drop before Destiny 2 next fall, what will keep you coming back to Destiny?
We've talked about this a lot too, and I've even started now going and playing other games.
Yeah.
I'm still playing. I'll still raid. But
we're kind of in that mode where there's a checklist to do every week, and once we're done,
we're getting back onto that where it's okay, Nightfall's raid. Yeah. Now I have to add in Crucible bounties, my weekly Crucible bounties. But even then, I'm getting good guns from it, but I'm getting a lot of repeat guns from it too. So I don't know how many times I'm going to keep doing that.
Yeah.
But the hard raid is going to come out, and that'll intrigue me for a little bit. Trials will come back. I'll keep doing. I probably will always run trials every week. So every Saturday, and stuff, I'll get on and run trials.
Yeah.
When that comes back.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I don't know what they can do. I'm kind of getting to that point a year later where, there was a time where I was getting on every day. I wanted to do my bounties and all that stuff. I don't care to do that stuff anymore. Even all these quest lines.
Yeah.
I don't even care. I've gotten 1 exotic sword. I'm not losing sleep over getting the other 2 right now. I got the one I wanted. Right. I got the bolt caster.
Right.
I don't see the other 2 being nearly as good. I've gotten most of the exotics already, and maybe that was part of the problem.
Yeah.
Because that's what kept me coming back in year 1.
I
wanted that Galahorn.
Yeah.
Now, I honestly only have, if you look at my screen, my exotic weapon screen, I only have 3 open slots.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a problem, is that I kind of killed it myself with that the 3 of coins exploit.
Yeah.
like getting all those exotics on that one day, like
Yeah.
which felt like Christmas.
Yeah.
But then, man, that the next year Christmas is a long time away.
Yeah. I mean, for me, they're not going to go a whole year without releasing some sort of expansion. First of all, it's Activision. Let's be real here. Like they're
You know
gonna
what they want.
release something, like even if it's something small like House of Wolves or Dark Below. Like,
Well, gosh, House of Wolves, if they did another one of those, I mean, thank goodness they put Trials in that. Because if it was only Prison of Elders and those like 4 story missions, I'd have been pissed that I paid money for that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Prison of Elders, like besides the Skolas thing, like, and I know you got tired of running people through it, but like, besides that, like, Prison of Elders sucked. Like,
no, and see, that's not,
and like
Trials made Prison of Elders, or I'm sorry, House of Wolves for me.
Yeah.
Doing that, getting those weapons, the messenger, stuff like that, that was awesome. But like I said, if that wasn't there, that was a garbage expansion.
Yeah.
And
like,
now, looking back now, Dark Below was kind of a garbage expansion too.
Yeah. I mean, you got Crota.
At
raid,
the time, though, you were like, oh, this is awesome. This is a great raid because it was something new. But that's just funny how like they can put something so minimal in like Crota's raid and we can just lose our minds over it. Like, this is awesome.
Just think. We paid $40 for both those expansions.
Yes.
Technically. They're both $20.
We did, yeah. 35 or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And for the same price, look what we got in the Taken King.
I know.
For the same price.
I know.
So, like, I mean, I'm not saying, like, price should dictate how good something is or how bad something is.
Yeah, but generally it does.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. But I'm saying, like, I'm not saying that it should because, a 2 or 3 hour experience for $15 is, like, normal now on like, PlayStation Network or Xbox Live or something. Like, that's just the norm right now. But, like, in a major AAA title like Destiny, like, if you're going to make me spend $20 on an expansion, give me something. And, like, for House of Wolves, like, I love Horde mode type stuff. Like, I loved Horde mode in Gears of War.
Oh, my gosh. You played But that was a different type of Horde. This, like, really wasn't.
Oh, I know.
This really wasn't Horde.
It was more. This is more like Firefight from Halo, which I also liked.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you stopped playing Halo a long time ago, but, like, I really liked Firefight mode in Halo. I mean, it wasn't as in-depth as Horde mode, but that when they announced Prison of Elders, like, I kind of got excited because I like those kind of modes. And, like, this is just, like, not what I wanted from this.
Prison of Elders was awful, wasn't it?
Like, yeah, it was terrible. It was awful. I tried to defend it for a little bit, and I was like, no, this is garbage.
Well, the rewards you got from Prison of Elders were terrible.
Except for my first one.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Not Prison of Elders, but just not that. I want a Cabal raid. Yeah. I've been saying that.
Yeah, I honestly agree with you. Like,
a Cabal raid would be the best.
Yeah, like a story, like some sort of like small story mode for the Cabal, and then leads up into this raid.
There is a little bit of like story with the Cabal and this Taken King.
Right.
Little bit.
Right.
But not enough. I want some backstory on the Cabal.
Yeah.
We've gotten enough backstory on the Hive.
Yeah, and the Fallen.
And the Fallen
Vex.
kind of, in the Vex we had Ball of Glass, which still, like, not really sure what the hell was up with that.
Yeah.
But I think the Cabal could have the best backstory.
Yeah.
And have you seen them without their helmets on?
Yeah.
Hideous things. Yeah. I don't know who got a picture of that, but I saw it on Google once.
Yeah.
Hideous.
Yeah.
Like, give me some I want Cabal raid. That's what I want.
Yeah. I want an expansion, or
I want military tactics against us.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah. I want that Cabal raid. We've talked about it a lot outside of the show, but like, I know they're going to have some sort of expansion around Christmas or in the spring. I can almost guarantee you that. But incentivize us to go back and do those old raids.
Oh, you want...
Like,
I want year 2 drops during Atheon.
Yeah. Like, that's
what I'm saying. I don't know why you don't.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't have to be exotics, but I mean,
no, they don't have to be exotics.
It's not like the exotics
just
are that
give us
great.
something
just
like we always make the joke, like, when we run new people through who just got the Taken King and they haven't done the other raids, we say, oh, we're going to go do Vault of Glass for funsies or whatever. But, like, I would like to go.
I don't say funsies.
No. Okay.
He says funsies.
I do say funsies. Okay. But, like, give me some incentive to go back and do those. Like, I don't care what you give me. Just make it, like, like something like 280 legendary weapon or something,
Well,
or
I'm
like
not
a
even
ghost
saying
shell
that,
or something like.
Weapon. Now I used to have so many weapon parts, but I'm getting a little low on that. Like some of that stuff. Give us some materials, not ascendant shards, but
Which are
give us
completely
something
worthless.
else. Give us maybe some motes of light, runes, armor materials, stuff like that. Even what I'm running low on materials like spin metal and stuff.
Yeah.
What about legendary marks?
Yeah.
Would you run Vault of Glass? And I know I'm just gonna throw a number out there, but for 25 legendary marks,
Probably.
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I would run it because like
Let's say you run it and beat it, 25 legendary marks.
Yeah, and then
That would be cool.
Yeah, even if it's just on hard 25 and 15 for normal. Like
yeah, something like that.
Like,
I would run that.
Because I still think Vault of Glass is a fun raid to do. Like I still think that's a fun raid.
Vault of Glass is fantastic. That. Oryx is close.
Yeah.
I still think Vault of Glass is the best.
It's just there's no reason to do it. Like there's literally no incentive to do it anymore.
We ran my brother's friend through it the other night who just got the game, and it was fun, but like,
yeah, what did we get out of it?
Well, even for those guys who are just like running through it, then they're just like,
yeah, they don't technically they really don't get anything either.
They get these weapons, and you're like, oh my goodness, that used to be so like someone gets a vision of confluence, and you're like, oh, that sucks. You're never gonna use it, but that was at one point the gun to get.
Yeah,
it's just
like when I ran Crota 2 weeks ago, I got Fang of Vir Ute again.
Why did you run Crota 2 weeks ago?
I was helping people that hadn't run through.
Like,
dude, I'm not going to run it by myself. I'm not going to
You probably could at this point.
I mean, I'm not going to go run it with a group like we run with. Say, hey, let's go do Crota. But like, I got Fang of Vir Ute, and like that used to be the gun to get from that raid.
Fang of Vir Ute was awesome.
Yeah, so I don't know. Just incentivize us to go back and do that year one content, and then add. I mean, we could do a whole show on what we would want from a Cabal raid. Like, maybe we'll just do a whole show on that one week. But, like, I don't know. Just give us something to...
Give me a Cabal raid. That's all I want. I think it would be the hardest raid. They could make that the hardest raid. Yeah. And that's what they should do. They should make it the hardest raid. Like, where the enemies... Like, if you think the mechanics are bad in this one, like, you should make it, like, ridiculous. Like, traps everywhere and stuff. Because that's how, the Cabal think. They're like a military. They're like an army. Yeah. They're not like these other where they're just, like, wild. Yeah. Like, Hive just seemed like wild. And so do, like, Fallen. Like, Fallen are kind of... they kind of have a structure. But it's not great. It's not like Cabal.
No, it's like, you find a drag out there and they back up until you get to this big group of, like, Vandals and stuff.
Yeah, no, Cabal... would be amazing.
Yeah.
And those bosses would be hard.
Mm-hmm. And they haven't done enough with them. Like, they haven't done nearly enough with Cabal at all, let alone a raid. So, our final question this week, are you guys going to do shows based off other games or franchises, even if they are only one-offs like Star Wars, Fallout, Halo, Call of Duty, etc.? I mean, we kind of talked about the Star Wars one.
I think eventually we're going to get to a point where, like, if Destiny stops putting stuff in, we're going to have to do a different show. Yeah. Basically. I mean, we can't do this. I mean, obviously I'm looking at what's going to be happening in this game, and we can still do this for a while. Right. But that might push us up to where, like, we do a different game every week. Yeah. Which could be cool. I mean, there's, me and you both play a lot of games. Yeah. We have a lot to talk about with a lot, so yeah, I would love to do a Star Wars because I know the Battlefront beta did not get good reviews, but I'm getting it anyways. I'm such a Star Wars fan anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably get it. I'll get it too, just to play with you and stuff. Like I was kind of on the fence, but like a lot of my friends are getting it, and like
Fallout.
I want to play it too.
Fallout is going to be amazing. Mm-hmm. Tomb Raider's coming out, which unfortunately I don't know when I'm going to have time to play it.
I'm telling you, dude, you should play that before you get Fallout because you're not going to play it until...
Once I get Fallout might be the game that puts Destiny away for a little bit. Yeah. At least till the weekends come around, I can play Trials.
Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, we already talked about, like, we're going to go see Star Wars when it comes out. Maybe we'll do, like...
I'm going to wear my Stormtrooper helmet.
Maybe we'll do, like, a 20-25 minute spoiler cast on Star Wars, or, like, talk about what we thought about the movie, or, like, something like that.
Trailer was pretty awesome.
Oh, my gosh, that trailer was so awesome. Dude, it was so awesome. It's true. All of it.
That was probably my best line, like, when she was talking about, like, how... It seems like what happened in the first movies was, like, Now it's just like mythical and
Yeah.
but Harrison Ford's just like it's true, and he was the one who didn't believe in any of that crap.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about something completely different.
Yeah. See, we could have a Star Wars show. We could probably do a Star Wars show too, but
Not a lot of Luke love though so far.
I haven't seen him in anything. Not even the poster.
He wasn't in the poster, and
He
the
wasn't
only
in the
part
trailer?
that he might have been in the trailer was when that hand went up on R2D2. But I don't know if that was him. To be honest with you, I don't know if it was him.
I mean,
His sleeves didn't match up with what his outfits are looking like.
Yeah.
Like because there's been pictures released of him
Mhm.
like on set and stuff, and
Yeah.
it didn't match up. So that doesn't mean anything. It would make sense with the mechanical hand, but
yeah, I don't know.
if you haven't seen the trailer, you need to watch it.
Yeah, I'm super excited for Star Wars. Like, I'm super excited for Star Wars. Like, I was excited for Star Wars, but that trailer is just like,
I know.
I saw this really funny meme. Like,
I mean, it can't be any like. The good news is it can't be worse than the 1, 2, and 3.
yeah,
Phantom Menace and all those
yeah.
which
it can't be.
a lot of people give it a lot of hate. I don't hate it as much as other people, but they're definitely not my favorites.
I think we can all agree until episode 7 comes out, Empire's the best. I think that's like unanimous.
Yeah, I agree. Empire Strikes Back. Yep, I agree. That movie was awesome.
I saw this funny meme. It had like the Avengers and said like we made 190 million opening weekend, and then underneath it was like Chris Pratt and the Raptors, and they said we made like 210 million opening weekend, and at the bottom Harrison Ford just like, that's funny. We broke the internet with an 88-second trailer.
Yeah,
It
is crazy. Well, I think that's it. Now that we're talking about Star Wars, so
Okay, this is a Destiny show still, but anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up? Because I want to get to that raid and I want to get to some
it's time to do
stuff.
some raiding and some Nightfalls.
But thanks for watching or listening to the DNA Weekly Strike. Remember, you can watch us on YouTube and download the MP3 off iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and the Xbox Store every Thursday. Remember, you can check out all of our current and upcoming schedule of content on digitalnerdadvocates.com/destiny. Follow us on Twitter at DNA Weekly Strike. We will post the show there and other cool articles about Destiny and stuff. And you can email us your questions. If you don't have the Facebook group, you should join it. But if you're not in it, you can email us at dnaweeklystrike@gmail.com. Join our Destiny Fire Team group, DNA Community Fire Team. It's a really good group. A lot of cool people in there. We all help each other get through quests and raids and stuff like that. So if you haven't joined that, make sure you do. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Digital Nerd Advocates, all that jazz. You can listen to our other podcast, the DNA Podcast, on a separate feed now. So remember, this is the last week that both podcasts will be on the same feed. So thanks for joining us this week, and until next time, we're out.
Good hunting, Guardians.